Andrew McMahon, and this is How We Met, a Queer Love Archive. Hello again. I am so excited to be back with a new season. It took a little bit longer than I planned, but hey, we made it, and I can't wait to share all the love stories I've recorded over the last year, starting with today's. So, Demi and Jax from Portland, Oregon met when they were still living in Denver. And their story is so sweet and fun. Like, if you're not giggling alongside them by the end, I don't know what to tell you. I also really appreciated that they were so candid with me about how they've navigated mental health in their relationship and how important it is to build a strong foundation of communication around mental health. So I hope you enjoy it. And I'll get out of the way now. So without further ado, here are Demi and Jax in I Don't Need Any More Friends.
Hey, I'm Demi, and my pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Jax. My pronouns are they, them. We have been together a total of 3.5 years now.
You're one of the first people that I've ever said that they met on Her, the dating app. And if you're not familiar with Her is like a queer, women-focused, non-binary focused app.
I think we liked each other on Her, and Demi was the first person to reach out, like, I don't know, DM me. I feel like that's rare because I'm a mask presenting person and she's a femme presenting person, and it feels like that doesn't happen very often. So that was nice.
Yeah, I mostly reached out because I saw a dog on their profile, and at the time I was like, man, I really want a dog, so I guess I'll start dating somebody who has a dog. And their dog was super cute. I also saw that on the profile that Jax liked to travel. They were older and they were a Scorpio. And I know Scorpios are very compatible with Taurus.
I feel like you asked about the dog in the photo.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I think that was your first message. If it wasn't your first, it was like a very quick follow-up. Like, you might have said, like, hey, cutie, what's going on? Or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But it immediately went to my dog.
Who is the dog?
Tell me about your dog.
The dog is important. Who is the dog?
Yeah.
I need to know the dog. I am just not a dater. I never really have been. For a long time, I identified as demisexual and aromantic, which basically means that, like, it takes a lot for me to really connect with somebody. And so I just never really pursued it. I didn't have any serious relationships at the time. And the only reason I got on the app was because of my therapist. My therapist was like, you're doing so well. You feel happy. Like, things are going really well in your life. Like, you got your job, you got your place. So you should try dating. And she was just really kind of coaching me through, like, staying on the app, communicating, taking a chance, reaching out to people and just being like, fuck it. Like, I'll slide in that person's DMs and whatever happens, happens. And I did get discouraged on other apps. They just didn't fit my personality. And then getting on Her just felt more like, oh, okay, I feel like I can share a little bit more of my personality without seeming like overbearing, I guess. Like, especially with the astrology stuff and whatnot. And so, yeah, I really took a chance, jumped into Jax's DMs, and it turned out really well. And I started to get really nervous about it at first, and I think half the reason that I don't date is because I'm also a ghoster. And so my therapist was very strongly like, do not ghost Jax.
Personally, I had used dating apps quite a bit in the past.
You were hooking up.
Yeah. I had a previous marriage which did not work out. And so I was kind of in this space where when I was with that person, I was monogamous for I think like 11 years. And so once we split up, I was ready to explore everything and everyone. So I did. And I'd had like a few longer relationships. Like I think the longest I had was like almost 2 years, but I hadn't really found what I would consider a long-term relationship.
Mhm.
And I kind of just thought that my lifestyle was too chaotic to have another normal person in it because I worked 24-hour shifts, which I don't think most people would be interested in.
Or understand. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so I was open, but I did not expect to find love when I started talking to you on her. I was only working 24-hour shifts. So I had a block of shifts and then I would have a block of time off. And so I was trying to like get to a point where, you know, I had time off so I could meet up with you.
Which I don't know if Jax like had told me that like exclusively, but they were just like, okay, they set a date a bit out, which was kind of nice because they were one of the first people that I was talking to through an app that was able to keep very cohesive, thoughtful, interesting conversation. It didn't just feel one-sided or like you would go several days without messaging me and then like pop back on the app like, oh, sorry about that or whatever. Like you were very consistent, which I really liked. I thought that was like green flags.
Yeah, I mean, she was also very consistent. I think too, she didn't have high expectations. Like because of the job I was working, I do anesthesia and I was working with high-risk labor and delivery patients. So sometimes nothing was going on, but other times there would be like an emergency C-section. And so there were times where I was just not always on my phone. And I've had that issue with, you know, previous people that I had met or had dated where they didn't like that I took so long to get back to them or, you know, that I wasn't always on my phone available. So that was a very nice attribute of Demi. It didn't seem to bother her. And she also had a whole other life that she was very busy with. So
I also am
so
notoriously horrible at text message and just writing people back in general. So I am not one of those people who's going to be like, let me text you streams of communication and paragraphs and I expect a 10-second turn. Absolutely not. I'm one of those people who has like 200 unread text messages. So for me, it's like as long as we're still like meeting up and like being intentional about talking to each other as often as we can. Like, I think to me that's what really mattered. And I think you told me what you did. But at the same time, I was like, I did not get the impression of you that you were like just dropping off in communication because you weren't interested or whatever. You just like didn't give me that impression. So to me, I was like, if you didn't message me back for a day or whatever, I wasn't like out here having a heart attack.
good. Yeah.
So we both decided that we both love coffee, which is very true today. And so we were going to meet at a coffee shop and Jax picked a date. You scheduled a date like the next day after a 24-hour shift, which I think is crazy now thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to go and get coffee at like 3 p.m. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, if we're gonna like do coffee, we might as well like go to a happy hour or something like that. That feels so late for caffeine. But the coffee date ended up falling through because a lot of the coffee shops we went to go to were closing at like 2 p.m. or whatever. Jax wasn't drinking. And so I was like, okay, if you're not drinking, there is like a really chill place that unfortunately isn't open anymore. We loved this place, but it was called Grandma's House. They had their own like beer brewery kind of situation, but they were really known for like having a lot of like games and card games, old school like Nintendo 64 stuff. And so we both bonded over really liking games and things like that, specifically board games. And I knew that this place also had a lot of non-alcoholic drinks as well. So it just seemed like a really cool place to like break the ice. So we pivoted there pretty quickly. So I'm driving up to Grandma's house, and I am notoriously a very aggressive driver. And the street that the bar is on is really busy, and so you have to parallel park. So I'm like behind this car that has Oregon license plate, and they are just driving so fucking slow. Probably looking for a spot, but like just whatever. And they steal the spot that I was gonna get. Because, of course, and it's raining that day as well. So I wanted to park as close as possible to the bar so I didn't get my cute outfit all wet. And this person just like slowly pulls into the spot and then struggles to parallel park. And so I like get all mad. I go around them and I was like, watch that be my date. And then we found out later that it was... But yeah, it was so funny because I was like, not only the driving situation and the parking situation, but then you ended up coming into the bar and you looked so tired and you were dressed like a little boy. You were about to go on a hike or something like that. Like you had on some like hiking short situations, like a Star Wars shirt and like a full backpack of stuff. I said, where are we going that you need a full backpack? So it was a wild start to the day for me. All internal monologue.
No, I don't think it was a backpack. It was like one of those saddle bags.
No, you didn't have your fanny pack. You had a full
No, it wasn't a
Cotopaxi.
fanny pack. It was one of the side ones. And I think it was because I'd worked the night before and I hadn't bothered to take anything out of it. So I
So
just
much
grabbed
stuff.
the bag on my way out.
The biggest bag.
I know my wallet's in there somewhere.
The biggest bag. Looking like an overnight bag. It's like, what does this person expect? I know the stud backpack assumption, so that's what I thought was happening. I was like, not today.
No. And just for context, I was probably going the speed limit. Demi just doesn't like going the speed limit.
Okay.
My first impression of you is you had dressed up for this date, and I was surprised because I thought this was like a very casual, like, let's just see if we vibe and then we can see if we want to go on a date. And you had dressed up like you were going on a date, and I was like, oh, I guess I messed up. And I do remember being so tired because the night before had been crazy. And I was like, I really regret scheduling this after a 24.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had chosen Grandma's house. I think in the back of my mind, I was like, if we run out of things to talk about, at least we could play a game so it's not awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up never playing a game because we talked so much.
Just yapping.
Yeah. So I thought you were obviously very cute and very attractive. One of the first things you said to me, I think you asked me what I was looking for. And I'd given you kind of like a very open-ended, vague answer because I didn't know you yet. So I didn't know what I wanted yet. And you were like, I don't need any more friends. Just very pointedly. So I was like, okay, well, I guess not friendship. So let's see what else.
I was dead set. Like every date I had ever gone on, I'm like, if you friend zone me, I'm out of here.
Well, the second date, Demi used to run this, I don't know, music festival
I didn't
in
run
Denver.
it, just part of it.
Okay, you were in charge of things there. And for our second date, you invited me to come hang out with you at this place. And you just gave me a press pass, even though I was definitely not press. And we hung out there while you were working. You knew everyone there, and everyone knew you in like a very positive reaction sort of way. Like everyone was so happy to see you. And so I just had it in my mind, because you're so extroverted, you have so many friends, I thought you must be dating a bunch of other people. And I thought that was normal. Like when you first meet someone, they're probably dating other people or have a friend with benefits. Like that was my assumption. I was incorrect. You were not dating other people. I was seeing a couple other people. But that surprised me. And I think that's when you started explaining what ace was and demisexuality. So we kept hanging out, I want to say for a month. We would go out and spend time together. Demi eventually came to my apartment and met my dog that she had DM'd me for in the first place.
You fell in love with me.
Yeah. And he was not, that dog did not get along with a lot of people, but he loved Demi. And I remember the first time I spent the night at your place, I brought my dog with me because he was very sick. I didn't want to leave him alone for a whole night. And she got up and made the dog bacon and eggs in the morning. And the dog looked at me like, we are never leaving. I love this woman.
He was very at home here.
Yeah, he was very at home with you immediately. So
I won the dog over exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, you won the dog over immediately. But
yeah, I don't know. Everything kind of lined up after that first month of like dating and stuff like that. We had lots of talks about becoming exclusive and what it was like dating other people, more on Jax's side than mine. And I asked for the first kiss, which I think is cute. Jax had to remind me of this because I was like, okay, I did ask for the first kiss. Apparently, I asked for a first kiss after watching an extremely fucked up documentary. Like, okay, we just got traumatized. Hey, do you want to break out? Timing is chaos. Jax didn't say no, though. So.
No, I was happy about it. But we both love watching documentaries now. So very quickly after, well, you had been in this process before we started dating, but Demi was in the process of buying a condo. And I was not a part of that because like we had just met. But when it came time for you to move and to set up at the new place, like I knew you were under a lot of stress and that this was very stressful for you. Your family came up and helped you. But I remember asking to help you and to be there for you, like emotionally, and you kind of shut me out. You didn't want me to see the stress that was involved with your move, or even like the messiness of a move, which is very natural when you move spaces.
And also, like, I was going through this like financial thing with the move that I was like, I do have a lot of financial trauma, and that's like a whole nother thing. So it just felt like there was just a lot going on with that move that I was keeping from Jax intentionally, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you brought it all up.
I remember sitting there asking you about the move, and it was like obvious you were really protecting your feelings, your emotions, and I called you out on it. And I was like, hey, I do want to be there for you. I want to be there during the ugly parts and the chaos and, the messiness of life. And I didn't think about it at the time, but I think when I was driving home, I like thought about it and I was like, oh, I guess like I am like falling in love with this person.
Which kind of ties into like my story of how I knew I was falling in love with them. I have a lot of mental health crises.
Why did you say it like that?
But actually, like right before this, I was actually supposed to go over to Jax's house, I think for the first time, to spend the night. And I was just having all of these really negative thoughts about myself. And also, a lot of my insecurities were coming up. And it was just making me extremely anxious. And it's crazy because, like, nothing different had happened this night. Like, I had hung out with Jax before. I wasn't extremely nervous, I guess, about spending the night, but I guess something had triggered me into that. I guess my brain was like, oh, this is serious. How are you going to hide your mental health from that? Because, yeah, for the past like several years, I've been diagnosed with autism and ADHD. And that has caused me to have like severe depression and a lot of anxiety. And that is like one of the reasons why at some points I thought I would be too much for someone to date, because there's just so much going on with me internally, and not even just being high strung by a move and buying a condo. Yeah, like that was peak stress for me, but like on the daily, I'm having some internal struggles with like my mental health. And I knew that that would be a lot to like have someone take on. And like I said, I've never been in a serious relationship. And so for me, I was just like, I have to hide these parts of me because they won't know how to deal with it, or they'll find this scary and then they'll leave me, or like they'll just sideline me and I'll just have to deal with this on my own anyways. So I was just giving myself like all of these like terrible thoughts about Jax. And I talked to my best friend about it. She calmed me down and I eventually went over to Jax's house. But when I got to Jax's house, something in me was just like, no, you need to tell Jax everything. Just tell them all of this. Like how you're feeling. Just let it out. Because I'm one of those people who has held in their emotions pretty much my entire life, or I have released my emotions in very negative ways, and it's caused me to have very negative repercussions from relationships because of it. And this time, there's just something about it. I was just like, no, I'm just going to release everything. I'm going to cry. I'm going to tell them all of the anxieties. I'm going to tell them that I'm feeling insecure. And how they react will show me everything I need to know about them. It was amazing. Not only was it like very cathartic for me, but because I've never really done that before, maybe to a few close friends and family members, but it was my first time doing it to like pretty much a stranger at that time. And Jax was so supportive of me. They just made me feel so heard. They didn't make me feel like a burden. And it was just so sweet. Sorry. It makes me very emotional. It just made me feel so safe, and I guess I have never like really felt that with a person before. Moving forward after that, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm in love with this person.
The things that you were worried about, breaking us up or being too much were things that I did not view as too much at all. Like, I also have my own mental health things. So dealing with mental health was not scary to me. I think not dealing with it was very scary to me. That was one of the reasons I was very attracted to you, is you were doing the work with therapy and you know, you're like, these are the things that I struggle with in my life, but I'm working on, you know, being the best version of myself by doing this. And part of that was like in therapy. So I never thought your mental health stuff was scary because you were already working so hard on it. And so many people do struggle with mental health, but don't always take the initiative, don't always take ownership of their mental health. And so that's when it can become overwhelming or toxic in a relationship, as if you're not attending to those needs. I remember you being upset that night, but I remember thinking like, oh, none of this stuff is too much. Like, what are you talking about? So,
Literally on our first date at Grandma's house, one of the things we talked about was how much we both love to travel. We were listing off places that we would both love to travel, and both of us said Oaxaca, Mexico. And then literally, like, 5 months later, we were traveling there. We had said I love you to each other, but the relationship was still fairly new. And so to go on a trip like this that had the potential to be high stress because language barriers and a totally different country and a place we both have never been to, yeah, that really set us up to experience a lot of firsts in our relationship. We overall had the best time. I think that was the most memorable trip for me, but we also had our first big fight on that trip. If you want to talk about that.
talk about the fight?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the later half of our trip. I mean, we had so much fun in Oaxaca. We
Did so much.
We went on a mezcal tour. We met a lot of people from different countries.
Cooking classes, walking tours.
Yeah.
Galleries. Because of this, like halfway through the trip, I was exhausted. Having a good time, but exhausted. And we needed to like go and get groceries or something like that. And Jax is kind of like, la 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 la, just kind of dragging their ass about it a bit. And I was getting stressed because we were in a neighborhood area that like obviously neither one of us was very familiar with. And it was becoming nighttime. And I had no idea what the situation was going to look like walking and getting to and from the grocery store. And so I was kind of like panicking a bit. And Jax was just kind of like, it's fine, it's not a big deal. Whereas I was like, this is a big deal. And then once we actually made it to the grocery store, got our stuff, and then left, we took a tuk-tuk back thinking, oh, this will be so much easier to get back to where we're staying. And we were wrong.
So at the time we were in Oaxaca, Demi doesn't speak any Spanish, and I knew very little at the time, think like high school Spanish level. And so I was trying to give the tuk-tuk driver directions to the place because I knew this, like what street, like I could point it out on a map, but there wasn't really a street sign.
No, there's no street signs. Everything was chaos. It's not like it was built on a grid system.
And if you looked up the address in the Airbnb map, it was incorrect. And so I was trying to explain to him where we were, and I don't think he understood me. And so he dropped us off somewhere close, but it was
close. In like air quotes for sure.
Well, it was at the top of a big hill. So it was close, but we had to walk up this big hill. This
steep as hell hill.
And
with
we were
all these groceries in the middle of the night. No lights in this neighborhood.
We also had a really big jug of water because in Mexico you cannot drink the tap water. So we had bought all this water.
I was livid.
I think you were also hangry.
I was also hangry. There was just so many factors, and Jax, like, we got to the Airbnb, I was so mad I was silent, and I think that's like the worst for me. And Jax was like breaking down like, you're gonna break up with me.
Well, that's that was my experience before you, is that when people got mad, that was just kind of it. And, go our separate ways. And we had never fought before. So that was just my expectation. And I think we took some time apart just in the Airbnb itself.
Yeah,
and
took a breather.
Yeah.
Made food.
Yeah, you made food and then brought it out to me, and I was like, what's happening? I just never had a partner do that, especially if we were fighting.
I didn't want you to starve.
Yeah. So we sat down, we talked about it, and I think it was just like a lot of little annoying travel things became overwhelming.
But we travel amazingly together.
I would say we both get overstimulated in airports.
Yes.
But we've
gotten better about
yeah
communication and also knowing when and where we both have our trigger points for when traveling and know what to do if we hit those limits. And we've also realized, like, hey, we can still travel so like we did solo. So if there are things that Jax wants to do that I don't want to do, we're okay doing
that's our biggest thing that we enjoy doing together is traveling. And so once we were together for a few years, we had lived together. It just seemed like the next natural step was to get married, which I didn't think I'd ever want to do again. But I think there are just so many financial and legal benefits to being married, and that like you are the person I trust that with, that I felt very ready and confident that that was the right thing for us.
Yeah, we brought up the idea. We went to go look at rings and things like that. And so I had a feeling that it was coming. I just didn't know when or where. And we go on this trip to Amsterdam, which neither one of us had been to. I knew I wanted to see the tulips, but we were kind of coming towards the end of the tulip season. And so we booked this kind of excursion where a driver would take us to the gardens, but then also maybe take us to a flower field or something like this. I'm thinking it's with a group because we typically take a group excursion or something like that. But the driver shows up and it's a nice driver. It's a nice car. I was like, ooh, okay, this is fancy. And I'm just enjoying my time. We go to the garden. It's so beautiful. It's not too crowded. The season is coming to an end, so there wasn't as many flowers, but it was still very gorgeous to me. I was having a really good time. And then we get back into the car with the driver and he's like, so I want to let you guys know there's not very many tulip fields that are still in bloom right now because it's the end, but I'm determined to find you one. And I'm just over here girl, we just saw some flowers in the gardens. It was stunning. I honestly got what I wanted out of it. We can drive around because I think that's fun, but don't stress yourself out. It'll be fine. And he's kind of freaking out a little bit. Oh my God, there was a field here, but it's really not that good anymore. And da-da-da-da. We're driving for a couple of miles, right? And I'm just vibing because I'm oh, the countryside is so beautiful. Little did I know that he and Jax are in communications. He's freaking out for a reason and I have no idea. And so we eventually happen upon a field, beautiful, filled with all these different colors of tulips, styles of tulips, and it's not busy. He's just wow, this never happens. This is really lucky. And so he was I'm gonna follow you guys around and take pictures and photos and videos. And I was okay, so he's about to be our little photographer, videographer too. Wow, this is nice. And so I'm just having a great time. The brain is off, not even thinking about what's about to happen right now. And so he's taking all these beautiful pictures of us. And then I could tell Jax is a little nervous, a little awkward. Jax just comes up to me and starts talking to me, and what did you say? I like blanked out because I was like, I literally was like, is this happening right now? So my mind just went completely blank. But you were just like, I feel like at home with you. You're my person, and this is just like the life that I want. I just knew immediately that I was getting proposed to. And yeah, of course, started crying. And our driver is just like the Mean Girls mom with the camera, like recording us. He was in on it the whole time, and I did not know that Jax had been coordinating with him. And it was so lovely. We got champagne in the flower garden. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it was so cute.
I was surprised that I had surprised you because I thought you would pick up on my nervous energy. And I know I'm an awkward person in general, but I felt so awkward and so nervous and was really trying hard not to let you see the ring in my pocket. And I don't know. I was also afraid of dropping it.
Oh, and the tulips.
Yes.
Yeah, and the dirt.
Yeah. That was also my fear, is that I would propose and drop the ring, and then we would be digging around in this tulip field trying to find it. And yeah, luckily that did not happen. I've told you this before, but I feel like my dog Moto, the one that you DM'd me about and fell in love with immediately, I feel like he chose you for me. You have fit so well into every part of my life, and the way you loved and took care of a sick dog that you definitely did not have to. You just like have stood out as one of the best people I've ever met. And I feel very lucky that we found each other, that your therapist encouraged you to get on the apps. So,
and not ghost Jax.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. You constantly say that you're like not cool and you're a dork. And I agree with that to a certain extent.
Wow.
And that you're just like average or whatever. But I truly think you are one of the coolest, smartest, like most wonderful people that I've literally ever met. And I just can't imagine being with, like, no one else compares. It's taken so long, I think, to find somebody like you. And I think that the wait has made it absolutely worth it. And I think the fact that I wasn't pushing to try to find you and it just felt so natural speaks even more volumes to it. And I love that you make us work towards our love. Like, it's not just like, oh, everything is romantic and it's just so easy. Like, I think you push me in so many ways to like learn about myself, to learn about the people around me, to learn about our environment, and just like really big and small and significant things that I just like never challenged myself on before. And I think that makes you cool and intelligent and a person worth getting to know. And I'm glad that I get to love you and spend this life with you.
Thank you so much, Demi and Jax, for sharing your love story with this podcast. And I want to say congratulations to the both of them because they just got married in June. So huge congrats, you guys. May the rest of your love story be magical and wonderful and filled with joy, just like we hear in this clip. How We Met, A Queer Love Archive is produced by me, Xandra McMahon. Music in this episode is by Addison Ryder, with additional tracks from the Epidemic Sound Library. Show artwork is by M. Giroux. Please rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening right now. It helps others who might be in need of some happy love stories find it. Thanks so much for your support.